in the face, said the famous boxer Mike Tyson. Have you ever engaged in a fight? Does the thought of being in a fight excite you, energize you, or does it paralyze or petrify you? How many times have you seen your favorite movie star kick ass on the screen? Have you not felt to learn to fight like him? I'll bet you all did. Reality, however, is not as pretty when it comes to fight as in the movies. You don't learn to fight by spending years on an isolated mountain. Neither do you spend to fight by spending some time in a hidden cave in a jungle. No secret move can help you knock down your opponent in the blink of an eye. Remember the dead touch? Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and Madam Toastmaster. Today I'm going to share my journey and my path as a combat artist and what I have learned in the process, how it shaped and scraped my worldview, how it made me more resilient, and also how it taught me the value of peace. I stand here with all humility as I don't consider myself an expert in the field of fighting arts. However, I am extremely passionate about combat arts and self-defense. While there could be as many reasons to fight, as many as the number of people in this room, I, for the benefit of my listeners, have put together 3 points to convince, coerce, and cajole you into learning to fight. Fight hard to stay fit. Before we even consider which is the best way to stay fit, let us even look at why is it even important to stay fit in today's times. Being fit is not a necessity anymore. You don't have to climb trees, scale mountains, or cross raging rivers. Hunting animals is not your only source of nutrition, nor is gathering or farming. You don't need to fight a burly bear to defend your space, and those in your clan aren't likely to clobber you in the head if you don't keep up during the head. And then again, you don't climb stairs anymore. We have high-speed elevators. Crossing the road does not require steely resolve or endurance. When I first learned to fight, I realized that all conflicts with co-workers and neighbors are settled only through passive aggression and through legal work. When I first learned to fight, I realized that even before I can slaughter and slay my opponent, I needed to survive and not surrender during the fight. The first time I was fighting somebody way bigger and stronger than me, this gentleman, hardly anything gentle about him, was any amateur fighter's worst nightmare. This man had spectacular athletic ability, had Hulk-like strength, and to top it all, he had a primal predatory mindset. And me, I was just a lanky teenager, and at first I was so scared, I realized what the Zen masters call as no mind. Basically, my cognitive and physical abilities were working so hard and so fast, I wasn't thinking at all. Learning to fight made me realize that life's problems aren't as tough as I thought they were. Point number 2, combat is real and rewarding. The beauty of combat is its direct and definitive nature. No bullshit survives an engagement. No excuses cut it here. And nothing in life can prepare you for the reality of combat. It's instant karma. I made a mistake, I dropped my card, and boom, I'll be punished. Fight requires endurance, strength, stamina, coordination, flexibility, agility. And we are not even beginning to scratch the surface of the skills and the tactics that you develop to fight adversaries and adverse situations alike. The results are not what you would exactly expect under a surgeon's knife or in a gym. Bulging muscles slow you down. Yoga gives you flexibility, but is that enough? As I began to learn to fight, I realized that a lot of violence rampant today in the world is a result of repression, suppression, and lack of honest self-expression. Remember, the closest to spiritual is through physical. Last but not the least, spiritual development. This is an attribute which you don't really expect a martial artist to develop. But truth be told, compassion is a quality that develops when a fighter begins to mature and grow in the art. In today's times, most people claim to be non-violent, but it is more so because of their ability to hit back and dominate. A fighter knows that he has the ability to fight or show mercy, and this, by the virtue, makes him much more compassionate towards all human beings. Our ancestors, the Homo sapiens, fight was a way of life for them. They fought when they wanted to play. They really fought hard when they wanted to procure food. And they fought with all their might when they were competing for a potential mate. Learning to fight will help you embrace parts of yourself which you weren't even aware of. And as I end my speech today, I would just like to leave you with one question from that famous movie. How much do you really know yourself if you haven't been in a fight? Thank you.